Okay, I'm Andy Green and I'm here for the first Mill Session interview with the man really who instigated the Mill Sessions, Ray Humphries.
Hi Andy, good to see you
Ray?
again.
You okay?
Yeah, all good, yeah.
What a setup you've got here.
Yeah, we're here as you can see we're in the Mill Studios. This is where we make the videos and we also record various artists, just do the audio recording if someone's recording an album or a few tracks.
Yeah.
And but we're set up here on the video stage.
And I've heard a number of albums that have been recorded here, but what I like about the Mill Sessions is this real stripped back vibe that's going on. It's very different to, you know, the multi-instrumentation you can hear on the records there. What was the whole idea behind the Mill Sessions?
Well, I mean, the Mill Sessions came about because obviously I'm a musician. I've played in various bands over the years, and there's always a call for bands playing cover songs, but I've always had a passion for bands that do original songs. And you know, I played in, as you know, in the Jeff Hill band years ago, which did the college circuit doing original songs.
Back in the 70s?
Back in the 70s, yeah. And from that, you know, obviously I've continued writing songs and I wanted an outlet for original material. Obviously over the years the music industry's changed. There's fewer venues now for any form of live music. So it's really hard for artists writing original material to actually get a venue where they can promote their songs. So I thought, you know what, why don't we make some videos? I mean, through COVID, an awful lot of musicians and artists put videos out. So I thought, why not do it? And let's give the artists an opportunity to perform their own songs. And I particularly wanted to show people the songs stripped down more as the artist actually wrote the song.
Yeah, I mean that's what I have found fascinating. I've got a couple of your albums and saxophones on them and everything going on some of the songs, yet your particular songs, when you perform them, it's just you, a guitar, looking at the camera.
Yeah.
And it's as you say, as you wrote them originally.
That's right, because I think most people, when they write a song, you know, they tend to write with either a guitar or perhaps a keyboard, if they're a keyboard player. And, you know, when they write it, they write the actual basics of the song. Okay, up in the heads, they might have lots of ideas about what they want on the fully recorded track, how they want to embellish the track. You know, they might have ideas for a particular drum beat. But the reality is they often write it with just one instrument.
And it's great that you've got all this talent in and around this area, the northwest of England, most of these artists. You've got some real young artists there just starting out, some established artists, but one thing they've all got in common is they're writing original material. That's
right, and as you say, I mean, we've had some singer-songwriters in here, absolutely fantastic artists, great musicians, but primarily great songwriters.
Yeah.
And you know, many of them are local. Although we did recently have a duo come over from Lincoln.
That's a fair distance.
It's a fair distance. They came over, they'd seen the Mill Sessions on the internet, and Dave Wilson, he just contacted me and said, look, we'd love to come down and do a Mill Session. And at the time he didn't actually realise where we were. So obviously when I told him, he thought, right, well, that's a long way. So what he did was he gave me some of his tour dates, and he'd actually been touring. I think he'd been up in the Lake District, and he stopped over in the Lake District, came down here the next day, and we did a Mill Session.
Yeah.
And I think 3 of their tracks have gone out already.
Yeah, there's a good number of tracks there online now, isn't there?
Yeah. With obviously all the artists, they tend to come in, and we tend to record 4 tracks, and we record them, the audio on our recording system, and we video them, and then we have to edit the video and sync the sound to it, and then we just put it out on the internet.
Very professional, very laid back though, really great atmosphere in there. I can imagine the musicians, when they're here, you're getting a unique performance from them because it is so laid back.
Yeah, I mean, our whole philosophy has been, let's make it really relaxed so we can get the best performance out of everybody who comes in, and we invite them in and we'll talk to them and we'll talk to them about the way we operate, and particularly with old friends, we end up talking about old times and such. We always have a cup of tea, and we record some fantastic music.
And you're making new friends as well, because some of these artists, like you've said, you've not met before.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, we had one artist come over from Bury, fantastic singer-songwriter, ex-paratrooper.
Right.
Had some amazing stories to tell us. He'd lived in the States because he'd fallen for an American lady, and he moved over to Austin in Texas, and he was performing on the music scene over there. The relationship with the young lady sort of went off the rails, so he came back, and he now tours, but he's a fantastic singer-songwriter.
And like you say, there's not many opportunities, or as many opportunities out there for artists to perform their own songs. But you've got a showcase here for them in the mill sessions, where I guess they can show these videos to people and get gigs as a result.
Yeah, I mean, the feedback that we've had is that these artists, because when they come in, we tend to record 4 tracks. We give them, we put them on YouTube ourselves, but we also give the artists the actual master file, or a copy of the master file, so that they can put it on directly onto their website, or they could just put a link to YouTube on the website. We also do some photographs for them, and it gives them a little package that they can use to help promote themselves. What we find is that they will use this, and they'll put it on their Facebook page or whatever, on their website, and they also use it for when they want to get gigs, because they can either give links to the venues they're trying to get a gig at, or they can send a couple of files over the internet, email them to them. It means the venues can see what they do. And one thing as well is, it's always difficult for a lot of venues in the fact that if they hear a studio recorded album,
that's not necessarily what they're going to sound like live.
That's not what they're going to sound like
live.
I mean, okay, if it's a band, some bands sound very, very good live. Very close to the recorded album. But if it's a singer-songwriter and he's just going to get up at a venue with a guitar, it's going to sound totally different. Whereas the videos that we produce show the venues what they're actually going to get.
Yeah.
And the feedback we've had has been, it's been really successful. It's helped artists get gigs.
So how can anybody who's out there listening to this interview and thinks I'd like to take part and have a mill session where I can perform? How does they get in touch with you?
They can contact us through Facebook. We've got a Facebook page called The Mill Sessions. If you put it into the Facebook search bar, it'll come up, and you can message me and talk to us. And
they could be appearing on video very soon.
They could be on video very quickly.
Very soon. Well, it's a great job you're doing here, and I mean, one of the reasons you've asked me to get involved is, a lot of people have reacted to these sessions. They've seen them, want to find out a little bit more about the artists, maybe go and see them. But you've asked me if I'll get involved and maybe ask some of the people who are performing questions about the craft of songwriting and their influences.
Well,
so we can find out more about them as personalities.
Yeah. Well, look, the thing is, obviously, we've been to your studio on the radio, and you've interviewed us on the radio, and obviously we've heard other bands and artists that have been on the on your show, and we've recognised that is something that really opens people's eyes, actually hearing more about them, because obviously a lot of people want to hear what an artist sounds like. They hear the album, they want to hear what an artist sounds like live, so they can either see them live or watch one of our videos. But we just thought, if we could get you to come down and interview some of these artists.
Backstories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we thought. It will show people what's behind these songs and behind these artists, what inspires them, what are the influences, how they write the songs.
Well, I can't wait to start doing that, Ray, over the coming weeks, and we may even interview yourself about your life in music.
Who knows what's going to happen? But look, I know that we've already got some great artists lined up who are going to be interviewed. So,
great stuff.
It's over to you, Andy.
Absolutely, but what I would say is thank you for giving people this opportunity. As a music fan, for giving songwriters the opportunity to come in to perform their work. And again, if anybody wants to get in touch, they do so by
Facebook. Put in the Facebook search bar, The Mill Sessions, and you'll come to our page, and we all know how to send a message direct to the people on the page. Just drop me a line. We can look at what the songwriter's up to, and then we can try and arrange a session.
And then I'm going to ask them some questions.
Exactly.
And we'll go dead easy on them. Brilliant.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Andy.
No, cheers, Ray. Thank you for your time. Again, thank you for doing this.
Really enjoyed it.